Hey guys, welcome to my Thursday, October 9th DVD update. It's been a little over 2 weeks since my last update. I waited a few more days to do this a little later because I had a few more DVDs I wanted to get through watching. But the first DVD I got is, and this one there's a couple that I have not gotten to watch, but I watched the ones that I really wanted to. I got Jack Carlon in Killer's Delight. Now, I know you may look at this cover and feel like you've seen it before, in a way. Like a lot of the Code Red, some of them, it seems like if they don't have like a real cover or something, they use like a stereotypical image and then like Photoshop the shit out of it and then do something like go, ooh, Photoshoppy. And it's like just there's an image on the back. I wish they'd just like stick with using like the real images and like just stop taking these pictures that could be a woman like this, like on the beach, and then they Photoshop it and go, ooh, she looks dead. They did that with the Curious Campus Corpse. There's just a stereotypical guy on the front like this, and they kept photoshopping, airbrushing him. He's like, look at him now. The next one I got is, these used to be released by MGM, but now MGM, like I think, went out of business or something happened. I can't figure out exactly what happened with MGM, but now everything MGM is now Warner Brothers or something. I think that's how it worked. Something like that happened. But it's Warner Brothers. Warner Home Video horror double feature, and it's got It, not It the one, not the clown with that one, but It. This I didn't look at this one yet, with Roddy, McDowell, and the Shuttered Room, which I started watching and really liked, then didn't get to finish it. And then this one, so I was really excited about because it has the episodes that I love, like some of my favorite years of it, and it's got Three Stooges Volume 4 from 1943 to 1945, and this one has one of my all-time favorite ones, the one with Idle Rumors and I Can Hardly Wait. I think it's called Idiots Deluxe. It's one when the Stooges break into this house and they raid the refrigerator and find this food, and then Curly breaks his tooth on a bone because Moe and Larry take the meat and the egg and give him the bone to the ham and the shell, and he breaks his tooth, and then it's him on the bunk bed at night walking across like, oh, my tooth, oh, my poor pathetic tooth, all that stuff. I mean, that's like one of my all-time favorite episodes. That one, and the one when they go hunting is on this one, and they go hunting for the bear, that one. The one with the monster in the hotel is in here. These are some of my favorite years of it. The next one I got is the Three Stooges, The Simpsons, the 11th season, and I got this one that like shines like this. Originally they said they were not going to do the faces that come out anymore, like the character-shaped faces, and I didn't realize they were still making them. I thought they were done. I bought this at Walmart, then I went to Best Buy, and they're like, damn it, they still are making those kind. But it doesn't really matter, because the big ones don't fit on the shelf too well, so it doesn't really matter. This one's laid out a little bit different. I mean, I like the design, how it's like the fair or a carnival, but the discs are kind of a pain in the ass to get out. They're like pushed in here like this, so you have to like pull them out like this, and I don't know. I'm not too big on how they put the discs in there like that. It's almost like what they did with that old Grinch DVD thing. I don't know. It's fine. It's just I don't like discs when you have to like push them in there like that, because I worry they could get screwed up when you're doing that. I think they did this to like cut down on the cost or something, because like originally it was totally like folded out differently and had like a specific slot they all went into. The next one I got was Joyride 2. Another one I have not watched. I got this 2 days ago, so I didn't get to finish this. I didn't even get to start it yet, and I'm not that excited about watching it. I wanted to see it, but I have a feeling it's not going to be very good. I really, really liked the first movie a lot. And when I first saw it on DVD, it was kind of like a movie that came and went. It went to theaters. I don't think too many people saw it. I believe it did better on video. I mean, on DVD, and that's how most people saw it. But they didn't bring back the original actor to do the rusty voice in this, who played Silence of the Lambs, the one who was like dressing like a woman, holding the woman captive in that hole. I mean, he had a real cool voice. When I found out, though, that he didn't do the voice, I don't know. and I got a new movie sent to me to our P.O Box. As some of you know, we have a P.O Box now, so if anyone out there has anything they like, letters or movies that they've made or props you'd like us to use in our videos, as I said before, we have a P.O Box, and I'll put that on the side of the videos where you can send it, and we open up a P.O Box video on Fridays, and then we post it sometime during the weekend. I got a new Damon Packard film, and Damon, I love this movie. It's the Untitled Star Wars mockumentary, and he like took footage of this documentary making, I think, episode 1 and 2, and he added him and his friend into it and filmed this extra stuff, and he did a really good job with it. And some of the scenes were so funny. They were like, "What the fuck do you want us to do, George?" And like George Lucas like reacted like this, and then he added stuff into the trailer. I don't know, I really loved it. So man, like Damon, if you ever have other things that you've done that you didn't send yet, I'll watch everything and review everything you send. And if you're ever doing any more videos, I'd love to like film something for you or be part of it in some way. Another one I got, and this movie I really liked. I wasn't sure like what I was gonna think of it, and I saw online it was like $25, and I was like, 25, and I found it at Walmart, and I was worried that I was getting all paranoid that it was going to be like the censored version. There's only one version. It was only like $8.99, brand new, and it's Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, and it's directed by John Kunutz. And this is I mean, I really like this. It's about I'm trying to remember, in the beginning of the movie, this character, he's out in the woods, and his whole family gets killed by this like troll thing in the woods that kills him, and he runs off, and that sort of screws up his whole life. And later in his life he has these major anger problems. If anyone says anything to him, it pisses him off, he goes crazy and like he just becomes a total asshole. But at one point in this movie, Robert Englund is in it, and it's not like one scene, because a lot of Robert Englund movies, it's like Robert Englund, and you watch and he's in it for like 5 minutes, and he's like the lead person on the top. You're like, oh, he's going to star it. And he's in it like there's one little thing and he's gone. You're like, alright. But in this, he's in, I'd say 73% of the movie. He's in a lot of the movie, and he's hilarious in this. I mean, I think this is some of the funniest stuff he's ever done. He's like, the idea is this character, Robert Englund's his teacher. He goes to night school, and he has to fix Robert Englund's pipes in the basement, and they explode, and they like unleash something from this buried outside in the backyard, which is this like what was it? I don't remember exactly what it was. It was some kind of was it a book? No, it was a heart. There was a heart that was in the backyard, and at least this sort of smell thing that made Robert Englund nuts. And then Robert Englund ends up finding it in the backyard, and he undigs it, and then it goes inside of his mouth and then turns him into this disgusting like monster, and his face is all puffing up like this, and they all go to night class, and he's in there throwing up all over himself, and he's disgusting. Then eventually he explodes. But the one thing that was so great about this movie was absolutely not one single shot of CGI. I mean, nothing. Not even, no background enhancement, no, like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they did so well with this. Like, if The Mist would have looked at this for how well they did the tentacles of the arms in this. I mean, the tentacles and the arms in The Mist look so fake. In this, they essentially did the same thing and were so well done. And I listened on the documentary. The director was like, I'm not sure if some of the effects might look cheesy or might look comical. They don't. I mean, they're great. I mean, and if you do more horror movies, you definitely do it the same way. Don't feel ashamed that you're not using CGI. There's nothing to be ashamed of. CGI has nothing going for it, and don't worry about CGI. It works in certain things, like if you have to make a full monster or something that there's no, like that's jumping around, there's no way. But this movie, it worked perfect for it. And don't be ashamed that you didn't use it. You did a great job. There's nothing to think about. You did outstanding. And I would give you a high five if you were sitting here. But everyone definitely pick this up. You will love it. The next one I got is from, what the hell is the name of this company? Raw Feed. And the last movie they did was Otis. It was about that fat guy that kidnapped that girl in the basement. They have a new one called like Alien Abduction or something that has Keith, who was like who was in 6 Feet Under. If you saw 6 Feet Under, he played the cop in that. But this is the sequel to the film Rest Stop, and I really enjoyed the first Rest Stop. and I don't know if it was because I didn't remember it too much of it, that this was confusing. But this was alright. But the charm that was in the original film was not in this. This was what you call just sort of a sequel to have a sequel. It was fine and all. There was some good moments in it. I like the one who's in this, who's the mother and the camper who played Simone in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But I don't know. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's worth checking out. It just, the aspects of the original, like with being locked in the restroom, basically the original one took place for the most part only in this rest stop, and it had the similar feeling to the film The Vanishing, the one with the remake one with Kiefer Sutherland, which was, I love that film. This one was not as much in the rest stop and more like traipsing around places. It was fine. The one guy who played Ed Gein was in this, who was in the Ed Gein movie. I don't know, I'd check it out, but I was slightly let down with it. And I got some of these at Walmart. They had this sort of horror selection thing up. These, I think, like $7.99 to like $10.99 horror movies. And like last year it was more like well-known horror movies. This year they had some weirder ones there. And I never even heard of these ones. And I got this one that I thought was going to be good. It sounded alright. The cover was just so-so. But it was called Brian Loves You. And it says George Wendt, Tiffany Shepard, who's only in it for a second. I really didn't like this. This sort of sucked. And it just didn't suck. It really sort of like pissed me off in a bad way. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like a lot of this crap going on. And like it's one of those kind of things where they try and pretend like things are real. And the Blair Witch, I hate when people try and do that again. Blair Witch did so well with that. And I mean, you look at it now, it's like, well, it's a camcorder tape and some 16mm footage. The thing is, it was scary. The time that it came out, it worked. People believed it. But this thing is like about this cult thing in the town. I mean, there's a few things that were interesting about it, but for the most part, it bored the shit out of me. The next one that I didn't even get to look at, because I looked at the trailer after I got it, and I was like, it's a little cheeseballish. I don't know. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. I don't know. And it's 5 Across the Eyes. And see, the cover you can't tell, but from unless I was looking at the trailer for the wrong thing, it looked like it was all filmed in this van. The whole movie takes place in a van. That's what I think, and like, with like a Jesus digital camera. I couldn't tell, though. The next one I got is the Goosebumps Monster Blood DVD set, which after I got out of Walmart, I looked at the receipt, and it was like, it wasn't even on the receipt, so I don't think they rung it up or whatever. It was like, uh-oh. I was in the car, and I was like, I'm not going back in there and dealing with this shit. But they sold me, but this has Monster Blood, which is visiting her aunt. Evan finds a dusty can of monster blood that's green, slimy, and starting to grow. It's like and then the first one, it was like this kid was screwing around in his aunt's attic and then finds this monster stuff that's green, and it keeps growing, getting all over everything. It's a big pain in the ass. And there's some really, really, really awful early stages of CGI in this that I mean is like laughably bad. I mean, ooh. The second part of it, the more monster blood, they did a different technique of it that worked better. And it also has How to Kill a Monster, which is these kids that are like locked in the house with this monster. And the other one is a girl who cried monster. And this is the one I always remembered watching. It was from 1995, so I would have been like 10 when it was on. And I remember it scared the shit out of me. It was like this girl who like thought of something about monsters, and then the librarian is a monster with these bug-out eyes. And I always sort of thought of this as like kind of a cheesed up version of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because the budget, well, I will say the budget in like the early episodes of the Goosebumps, like the 95 ones, was much more, it had more money to it, and it was creepier. But as the show went along, it got really cheesy. And I don't know if they used up their money or they didn't want to be too scary for kids. I don't know. And the next one I got is The Best of Rocko's Modern Life. And this is an Amazon.com exclusive, and it's made through CreateSpace, which is like, I really like the idea of CreateSpace. You can make a film and then submit it to them, and they distribute it for you. And this is the second volume of this. Essentially, volume 1 and 2, from what I found out, is all the first season episodes. but they're just in a random order. And I don't know, I think this is basically all we're going to get. I don't know if there will be a time when we get official DVDs. I just don't know what the interest is. I don't know how well these are selling. My guess is that Nickelodeon and Paramount and all that is going to look and see how well these sell, and then see if there's enough interest in releasing seasons. That's my guess. But I think kids would buy this show. Nowadays, it's the creator of SpongeBob. I don't know why they wouldn't. If they put on there from the creator of SpongeBob, I think people would buy it. And the next one I ordered this like forever, and then it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And it's Last House on the Beach. This is one of the first one of these movies that I didn't care too much for. I usually like these Last House on the Left, like House on the Edge of the Park kind of movies. This one was pretty good, but just wasn't as good as some of the other ones. There's a scene at the end that was very similar to the scene in the end of Death Proof. Kind of similar, like I think Tarantino probably saw that, and that's how he got the idea for that. It seemed like it to me. This is definitely, if you like those kind of things, worth checking out. But it's really difficult it's like these robbers that end up breaking into they rob like the bank, and then they have to hide out. They hide out in like this sort of Catholic college campus or something like that. And the one's leg gets screwed up because the girl stabs him. It's alright. It's not really much to say about it, though. The next one I got, and I haven't had this for a while, I think I didn't show it last time, is Little Britain Abroad. And it's the episodes of Little Britain when they take trips. Like Lou and Andy plan to go to Disney World, but then Andy screws up the plane, pushes the engines off, and they end up crashing on this deserted island. I love these ones. If only the Little Britain Americas could be like these. Little Britain America I've been watching, and there's certain things that are so good in it. But the last episode did not have Lou and Andy in it, which was ridiculous. And they're taking forever to get the only gay in the village in it. He's in it, and he's the only gay on campus. I just wish they'd stick to the good characters and stop making these like so ones. And the laugh track on it is so strange. It's like, it sounds like really bad canned laugh. And I don't think it is. It's just something about the mixing. I don't know if it's because HBO never really used a laugh track, or at least not that I know of, and they don't really know much about how to do it, to mix it properly. I can't tell. And the last DVD I got, I have 3 Blu-rays to show, was Feast 2, which I'm watching right now. And this is another one of these situations when I cannot exactly remember the end of the first Feast. I remember really liking it, though, like a lot. This is starting off pretty well, though. It's just sometimes sequels just aren't as cool as the original, and that happens like all the time. But I'll try and talk more about this one in the next update. And some of the Blu-rays that I got Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the unrated Blu-ray that has 2 versions of the movie, which I've not looked at these yet. I saw this movie in theaters and really liked it. I personally like this movie. I think this is one of my favorite their movies. The Judd Apatow films, I like this one best. Just out of every one of them, this is my favorite one. And I also got, and I know this is kind of a funny thing to get on Blu-ray, but I have the old DVD, and I figured, Blu-ray's the way of the future and all that, so I figured I might as well get it on Blu-ray, because, I don't want to have to buy it again down the line. And this is a movie that I remembered seeing, I think, in the 6th grade, and I was in middle school in the 6th grade, and I don't think anyone in middle school was interested in this. I guess people who were in high school would have been seeing this, and I felt like I was like the only person who ever saw it. But it was always something I loved during that time, and it was Can't Hardly Wait. This is like all these actors that were really big during that time, and it's funny is every actor in this is still doing stuff. Everybody. But and I love how that kid came back from Hook. It's like the only movie he came back to do. After he did, I think Hook was the last thing he did, and then he disappeared off the face of the earth, and he came back for this, and then never did anything else again since. And now he's working at NASA or something, like some severe, serious job. Maybe one day, in 20 years, he'll come back again for something else. If they ever made a sequel, maybe they get him back. Who knows? But I always liked this, and I remember this is the same time. I remember like when I saw this, like in 6th grade, I had this weird like attitude, like I was so cool and like I could accomplish anything. I remember like the first day of 6th grade, I got on my bike and was like listening to Lost Boys and like doing these stupid tricks and acting like I was so cool. And then around the same time, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see something about Mary in the theaters by myself. And I tried to go, and it didn't work out. They're like, you have to have an adult with you. I'm like, no, my mom's on the other phone. I can call on the payphone because there's no cell phones then. I'm like, well, she's all right with that. She says I can do it. No, she has to go. I always remember that. And the last one I got, which I got today, and that's why I was delayed watching because I wanted to watch this, and it's Beetlejuice, the Blu-ray disc, with this cover that does this, and underneath is the regular cover. And I've actually have this poster. I've had it up in the basement for since 1991, and there's all these things. It's like, oh, is it edited? Did they edit out the nice fucking model scene? No, nothing is edited out of this. It is a little upsetting that they didn't put a commentary track or any interviews or anything like that. They put 3 episodes of the cartoon, which is nice because there's no DVDs of the cartoon out yet, and I don't know if there ever will be. I'd love if they put the cartoon out. They're putting out the entire collection of the real Ghostbusters from Time Life, so I think there's a chance maybe Time Life or a company like that will. But, the Blu-ray, though, looks great, and I was really wondering how it was going to end up looking, and it really is. It's cleaned up so well. It's as good as any other movie. Not as good as, like, a new film, but they really cleaned it up where you can really see a difference. And the music and dialogue is as you can tell, has been cleaned up as well. But definitely, if you have Blu-ray, I would check this out. I know it's kind of expensive, but you can get it off at Amazon for like $22, which is about $5 less than Best Buy's price. And it also has the CD sampler. And the thing is with the CD is, I never remember the soundtrack being out. I remember having the first song and the end credits, but it also has Enter the Family, Sandworm, The Aftermath, Showtime, and that Banana Boat song. But there might have been a soundtrack out, but I don't remember it. It also has this booklet in it, like this. I think it's nice that they included these, at least so people can have those songs, because the music in these are great. And hopefully Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, which he's working on now, hopefully he'll get Danny Elfman to do the music, because it really won't be the same if he doesn't do it. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this week's DVD update, and I'll see you all in about 2 weeks to a little over 2 weeks. So, see you all later.